Thank you, Mo.
Thank you. Oh, I think Chad's coming back.
All right.
Here he is.
Oh,
Do you want us
snapped
to
your
leave? Do you want us
fingers,
to
and
stay?
here we are.
What do you want
If you really enjoyed that experience, just because clapping, like we've done 3 days of clapping, if you really enjoyed this experience, just give them a little drum roll on the table as they head off.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you.
I did too.
Ooh, that's kind of exciting. Usually we do drum rolls at the beginning of something, which in theory, the end of a summit should actually be the beginning of a whole bunch of other good stuff. Some of you vacation. I have horrible news. Coming to the very final moment of our summit, the brain does not remember more things over time. So everything that happened over the last few days, the only trajectory of what's in your head right now is a curve that looks like this, right? And so what I'd like to do is invite an experience after I close to offset the curve of forgetting. Because the curve of forgetting can actually be reset, because if in 10 days you remember something pops into your inbox and you're like, oh yeah, I went to that session about that thing. I got to write a note to whoever, right? It resets that curve of forgetting. And if you reset it enough time, you might actually remember it for the rest of your life. So I am going to be standing down here. I'm going to pull my phone out and start a voice memo. And if you have a question, I had a mentor who used to say the best way to kill a question is with an answer. And so if you've got a question, you're walking out of the summit with a question, not the aha, not the charge for action, but you have a question, would you come down and just ask it into the microphone? And it's not going to be connected to who you are, your name, your title, anything else. Just ask your series of questions, and I'll have that transcribed, and perhaps we'll do something cool with that. All right? What I really want to end with is thank you. But I told you a couple days ago that the wisdom is in the nuance of something. So how many of you say thank you to your staff, your team? Yeah. So I'm going to give you something that will hopefully explode this idea of saying thank you in a really beautiful way. But first of all, can you just start clapping and continue clapping if one of these people or groups have made a really big difference in your time here at the summit? A sponsor who fed you drinks or food. A case staff member who had a touch point with you. A committee member who volunteered their time to make a difference for you. One of the Hilton staff members wearing all black, being invisible, making sure that tables came here. Look up at the AV people. They're amazing. Jenny's hanging out behind that curtain, making sure that you can hear everything, all right? So huge thank you to everybody, and I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch of other people that made all this possible. I'm really, really grateful for your time, your attendance, your attention, and here is the little golden nugget that I promised. So I'm going to give you a distinction between appreciation and affirmation. So Merriam and Webster might slightly disagree with me, but I would say that appreciation is acknowledging someone for what they do, right? Thanks, Joe, for sweeping the floors. Affirmation is acknowledging someone for who they are while they're doing it. Joe, thanks for your attention to detail that keeps this place clean. You feel the difference between that? So, Mo, we didn't talk about this beforehand. Can I put you on the spot a little bit? You were kind of just on the spot. You don't need a microphone. Thank God, she said. Mo, thank you for facilitating a really amazing panel. It was nice, right? It was an appreciation, acknowledging something for what Mo did. Affirmation, Mo, thank you for sitting in this chair with an immense amount of authenticity, which is like every interviewer, every moderator up here had this level of authenticity and made it feel like you were having a coffee chat in a large group. But you had this authenticity blended with conviction. When you asked a question, you meant it. And it was really beautiful, and it made this panel really amazing.
Thank you.
Mo did something really good. She didn't have her mic on. Yeah, right? So Mo did something that most people don't do, and she did it really, really well. Did you hear her response? She said thank you. So in a minute, what I'm going to invite you to do, instead of one last round of applause, I'm going to invite our closing exercise as you walk out of here and Rob plays some music. I'm going to invite you to find somebody that you connected with during your time at the summit, stand in front of them, stare them in the eyes, and offer them an affirmation of who they are, not just what they did or said while you were here. And for most people, this is a little bit uncomfortable. Because when somebody walks up and says, oh, I really love that necklace, our default is one of two things. It's either to say, oh, this old thing, I got it at Goodwill. And we kind of like shine it down. Or we mirror it back and say, oh, that jacket, though, really amazing, right? And we mirror it back. So the invite is, as you go to find 2 to 3 people that you connected with and offer them an affirmation of who they are, is if you're on the receiving end of an affirmation, you can respond in only one of 3 ways. You ready? Thank you. Thank you, I liked hearing that. Can you tell me more? Or thank you, I liked hearing that. Can you write that down and send it in a letter to my college president? Those are the only 3 ways. That's it. No more applause. Let the applause be the sounds of your voice, just offering some affirmations. It was such an absolute joy. Don't forget about the microphone and the phone. I'll be sitting down here. Have an amazing, safe travels back to the countries and states that you're going to.